Hello everyone. Today we discuss about the second approach to define gamma function, that is Millen integrals. Millen's integral. As we already seen in the last lecture that we have two approaches to define a gamma function. First is Weierstrass product that we already discussed in the previous lecture, and the second one is Millen integrals. So today lecture is about the representation of gamma function using Millen integrals. So in this case, how we can define gamma function? Gamma z is defined as integral from 0 to infinity e raised to power minus t into t raised to power z minus 1 into dt. And this provided that the real part of z should be greater than 0. So this is the definition of gamma function by using Millen integrals. Now all of you have to verify all the properties that already discussed in the previous lecture by using this definition as well. Now the second is asymptotic expansion. Asymptotic expansion. A series a0 plus a1 by z plus a2 by z square plus an by z raised to power n and continuing like this, written as summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an upon zn. This series is called asymptotic expansion. If we have any function fz which can be written as limit z tends to infinity z raised to power m fz minus integral summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an zn is equal to 0. If any function have representation of this type, then it can be written as this fz is similar to this asymptotic expansion summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an upon zn. Now we have to study a formula, Stirling formula. In this formula, we discuss about the behavior of the gamma z function for large modulus value of z. That is, for gamma function, we have to find a asymptotic expansion of gamma z for the large behavior of modulus z values. So this is our Stirling formula. We have to check the behavior of gamma function for large modulus value. But before discussing the Stirling formula, we have to study two lemma first, lemma 1 and lemma 2. Then by using these lemma, we can prove a Stirling formula. So what is lemma first? The lemma first is if greatest integer of u, that is this quantity denote the greatest integer function, and the greatest integer function is the value of greatest integer not greater than u. So this is the definition of greatest integer function. Now we have to prove this quantity, that's integral from 0 to n greatest integer of u minus u upon 1 plus 1 by 2 divided by u plus z into du. We have to show this quantity. So the main thing is in this expression, this quantity is represent greatest integer function of u, and we have to prove this. Now as we know, the integration from a to b can be written as integration from a to c1, c1 to c2, c2 to c3 and up to cn to b. We can write integral as like this. So we use this property here. Integration from 0 to n can be written as integration from 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and up to shown like this, summation integration from n minus 1 to n. And the quantity inside the integral is same. Just place this is du. Now we know that if the property of greatest integer function is if x greater than n plus 1, this implies greater integer of x is equal to n. So in every integral, we are taking integral from 0 to 1, and thus we are doing integral with respect to u. that is the value of u lies between 0 to 1. This implies greatest integer of u in this case is 0. And the next is 1 to 2 du. This implies value of u lies between 1 and 2. This implies greatest integer of u is equal to 1. So greatest integer of u when it is lies between n and n plus 1 implies greatest integer of u is equal to n. That is similar number. Because if u lies between 0 to 1, then its value can be 0 point something. If we have greatest integer of 0 point something, then its greatest integer is 0 always. If we have 1 point something, then its greatest integer is 1. So we use this property of greatest integer here. In this case, value of u lies between 0 to 1, so greatest integer is 0. In this case, value of u lies between 1 and 2, so greatest integer is 1. And in this case, greatest integer is n minus 1. So we simply put this value here. So it will become integral from 0 to 1, 0 u minus u plus 1 by 2 upon u plus z dz, plus integration from 1 to 2, and the greatest integer of u replaced by 1, similar like this. So now we can written as in a summation form. Summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, integral from n to n plus 1, n minus u plus 1 by 2 upon u plus z into du. This whole quantity can be written as like this. Now summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. This is integral from n to n plus 1, and this quantity can be written as like this: n plus 1 by 2 plus z upon u plus z minus 1 into du. We have to integrate with respect to u. So we try to remove this u from the numerator. So that's why we are so that the integral can be easy for us. So this can be written as summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, integral from n to n plus 1. This can be write as like this. Now we have to integrate with respect to u. So this quantity can become is independent of u, so it's as it is n plus 1 by 2 plus z, and the integration of 1 by uz is log uz, and the integration of 1 is u, and the limit from n to n plus 1. We just simply putting the value of upper limit and lower limit, and we get summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, n plus 1 by 2 z plus z into log n plus 1 z minus summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. This we are just separating, applying this summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, n plus 1 by 2 plus z log n plus z minus summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 into 1, because in this case n plus 1 minus n and n will be cancelled out, so we are left only with the 1. Now in this equation, into the first term we replace n by n plus 1. This n plus 1 by 2, this quantity n plus 1 by 2 can be written as n plus 1 minus 1 by 2 plus z, and we have to replace n plus 1 by n. So n plus 1 by 2 plus z, this quantity can be written as n plus 1 minus 1 by 2, because 1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by 2. So we can write this as 1 minus 1 by 2, and then we replace n plus 1 by n. So we have to change only in the first term, and we replace what we are doing change, the n plus 1 is replaced by n. So this can be written as n plus 1 minus 1 by 2 plus z, and n plus 1 is replaced by n. So it can be written as n minus 1 by 2 plus z into log n plus 1 is replaced by n plus z, and all other quantity are same. Now this summation is changed from n is equal to, here it is start from n is equal to 0, here it is start from n is equal to 1. It's just because to adjust that term, because if you are taking n is equal to 1 to n, then you get all the term is similar like this when you open this summation. Now other quantity will be same. Now we try to make this summation quantity start from the same number and end with the same number as well. So this is the n minus 1 and this is n. So we open it, n is equal to 1 to n minus 1 plus for n is equal to capital N, we can write as a separate term, n minus 1 by 2 plus z into log n plus z. Now the next term n is equal to 0, but here it is start from n is equal to 1. So for n is equal to 0, we can write as z plus 1 by 2 plus z log z, and then summation start from n is equal to 1 to n minus 1. In this case, both the summations start from n is equal to 1 and end with n minus 1. Here it is also start with n is equal to 1 and end with n minus 1. So that we can combine these all the sum. That's why we are making adjustment. And the here it is a summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1 we have total n term. So we have to add how many times? N times. So we can write it as n. Now we are trying to combine this term and this one. Summation n is equal to 1 to n minus 1 and log n plus z is common out, log n plus z, and the remaining term is n minus 1 by 2 plus z minus n minus 1 by 2 minus z. So these terms are cancelling out and minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is equal to minus 1. So it can be written as minus n is equal to 1 to n minus 1. So it can be written as summation, नेगेटिव सिंबल आपका यहाँ से आ जाएगा. जब हम कॉमन आउट लेंगे इन दोनों समेशन से तो नेगेटिव सिंबल आपको वहाँ से मिलेगा. सो log n प्लस जेड माइनस आएगा आपका z प्लस 1 बाय 2 इंटू log z प्लस n minus 1 by 2 z log n z minus n. Just combine these two summation term and all the term remaining same. So this is our equation first. Now we are try to simplify this term. Minus log n is equal to 1 to capital N minus 1 log n plus z. It can be written as, you can take common and you can take common out. So it n plus z can be written as n into 1 plus z by n into may log. So we can apply property here, log m into n, that is log m plus log n. So it can be written as log m plus log n. Now this is summation n is equal to 1 to n minus 1 log 1 plus z plus n. Now we are adding and subtracting one quantity here, that is summation n is equal to 1 to capital N minus 1 into z upon n. We are subtracting and adding the same quantity, so the expression will remain same. We can do this. Now in the next term we expand this summation over log n, that is log 1 plus log 2 plus log n minus 1. So it will become log m plus log n plus, it can be written as log 1, 2, 3 up to so on n minus 1, and this is the factorial of n minus 1. So it can be written as log n minus 1 factorial. Now we are combining this term, this addition term and this. It can be written as log z upon n minus log 1 plus z upon n minus log n minus 1 का factorial minus the remaining term z into 1 plus 1 by 2 up to shown n minus 1, this term, this one. Now at the place of this quantity into equation first, we put this one. So by using the above equation into first, जैसे ही हम क्या करेंगे, इस क्वांटिटी की वैल्यू यहाँ पुट करेंगे, then we get the desired expression that we have to prove for lemma first. So this is our lemma first. We have to show this quantity. So this complete the proof here. Now the next one is lemma second. If n is a positive integer, then log of gamma n, or we can say log of n minus 1 factorial, because gamma n is equal to n minus 1 factorial. So log of gamma n equal to log of n minus 1 factorial can be written as n minus 1 by 2 log n minus n plus c plus order of 1, where c is the constant and this quantity represents a function which tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. So we have to show this expression. Now we have log n minus 1 factorial. It can be written as log 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to shown n minus 1. This is the definition of n minus 1 factorial. Now we can apply the properties of log m into n is equal to log m plus n here. So now finally we are writing this equation, this term as a summation. So this can be written as summation n is equal to 1 to n minus 1, that is log n. So this is our equation number 2. Now consider the integral from v minus 1 by 2 to v plus 1 by 2 log t dt. This can be written as summation 0 is equal to 1 by 2 log v plus t plus log v minus t dt. You can verify these two quantity are same. You can firstly verify right hand side, then you can solve out left hand side and you get both are equal. So we can write this expression as like this. So now we consider this one. So integration from 0 to 1 by 2, this can be log m plus log n, that is log m into n, and a minus b into a plus b can be written as a square plus minus b square. So this is the same here, log v square minus t square dt. Integration from 0 to 1 by 2, we just common out v square from here. So this is v square 1 minus t square upon v square dt. This is our log v square dt plus log m into n can be written as log m plus log n. So log v square dt, we are separating the term and applied a separate integral on the both. So 0 1 by 2 log 1 minus t square upon v square upon dt. This is 0 to 1 by 2 integral 2. This is the property of log am. It can be written as m into log of a. So this can be written as 2 log of v dt. Integration from 0 to 1 by 2. This is the expression for log. Firstly you have to verify log of 1 minus z ka expression, 1 minus z inverse, then you can integration it as log 1 minus z, then you get this expression. So this expression is minus t square upon v square minus t square upon v square का whole square into 2. So it can be written as this. This comes from this expression. You can verify easily. Now we integrate with t. So 2 log v is the same and the integration of with respect to 1 is t 0 to 1 by 2, and this all the term can be written as order of 1 by v square, that is all the term which is higher than 1 by v square, 1 by v4, 1 by v6, वह सभी टर्म इसमें इंक्लूड हो जाएंगी. Now we are just applying the limit. This is 1 by 2 and cancel out by 2, that is we are remaining with log v and this term is written as cv. cv is equal to order of 1 by v square. So log v is equal to integration from v minus 1 by 2 to v plus 1 by 2 log t dt minus cv. This is our equation. You can say 2 or now the from first we have log n minus 1 factorial is equal to summation n is equal to 1 to, this is our expression, log n is equal to 1 to n minus 1. You can exchange this variable as well. This is can be also written as log of v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 log of v. This is the same, we just interchange the dummy variable here. So summation v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 log v, and the value of log v we can get from equation number 2. So log n minus 1 factorial is equal to summation v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 log v is equal to summation v is equal to 1 to n minus 1, and the value of log v we get from the equation number 2. So this can be written as v minus 1 by 2 to v plus 1 by 2 integration of log t dt minus summation v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 into cv. Now this is the summation term. For v is equal to 1 to 1 by 2. For v is equal to 1, we get 1 by 2 to 3 by 2. Then 3 by 2 to 5 by 2. We get like this. And in the last we get up to n minus 1 by 2. So just we are applying the properties of integral. We combine all these and we get the integration from 1 by 2 to n minus 1 by 2 log t dt. Log t dt minus summation v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 cv. Now by lemma first we have log of t dt. The integration of this quantity, integration of log t dt is t log t minus t. So the integration of this quantity is this 1 by 2 to limit is from 1 by 2 to n minus 1 by 2 minus this series. Now just applying the upper limit and lower limit, n minus 1 by 2 log n minus 1 by 2 minus n minus 1 by 2 1 by 2 log 2 minus plus 1 by 2 minus this series. Now we are combining the term with log of 1 by 2n. So in this case this is our n minus 1 by 2. So we are taking n common. So this can be written as 1 minus 2 by n into log. Now again we are applying the property log m into n. So log m plus log n minus n plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 log 2 plus 1 by 2 minus this series. So now in this case plus order of 1. Here this series start from n is equal to 1 to n minus 1, and here we are taking this series v is equal to 1 to infinity. So from v is equal to 1 to n minus 1 plus n minus 1 to infinity, जो एक्स्ट्रा सीरीज हमने इसमें ऐड की है वो, तो जो सीरीज हमें जो टर्म हम ऐड करेंगे वो हमें सब्ट्रैक्ट भी करनी होगी, तो वो सभी किसमें इंक्लूड हो जाएंगी ऑर्डर ऑफ 1 में. एंड सीवी में क्या है हमारी 1 बाई वी स्केयर वाली टर्म में higher 1 by v square and higher than 1 by v square, that all are included in order of 1. And this order of 1 tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. This implies n minus 1 by 2 log n plus n minus 1 by 2. In here we are just apply the value of log 1 minus 1 upon 2n. Again you have to use the expression 1 minus z का inverse, then you have to integrate it log 1 minus z and you get this expression, this one. So log 1 minus 2n by using this property can be written as 1 by 2n, and then higher term include in it this term order of 1 by n square minus n, and this quantity 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1 minus 1 by 2 log 2 minus this term series plus order of 1. Now we know this order of 1 include the term of 1 by v square and the higher term, so it tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. So this will become n minus 1 by 2 log n minus n, this term is tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. It include higher term of n square and this is 1 by n. So as limit n tends to infinity, this quantity tends to 0 minus n plus this quantity all are written as c. This one and this one, these are all written as c plus order of 1. Here this c is all the constant values and order of 1 tends to 0 as n tends to infinity. That we have to prove. Simply you have to take first log n minus 1 factorial. This is the value of n minus 1 factorial. Then we write it as a sum of a series. Then you have to consider this integral and you have to find the value of log v here. Now this value of log v use in the equation number first. Then we get the summation and this integration, then we apply summation over the integration, then we get we use this properties of integration. We combining the integration, that is goes from 1 by 2 to n minus 1 by 2 log t dt minus this series. Now again we integrate log t. I think this no use of this line has no use here. Now we just integrate log t, and the integration of log t is t log t minus t, that we use here minus this series. Then just simply applying the lower limit and upper limit. Now again we change this quantity, we take summation v is equal to 1 to infinity, so we are taking some extra term, so we have to add and subtract all these term so that the quantity remains same, and that summation term include in the order of 1. Now where order of 1 tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, this implies this n minus 1 2, here we again use the expression of log 2 which tends to 0 as n tends to infinity, and minus n, and the all the scalar quantity can be written as c plus this order of 1, that is we have to prove. This is our lemma number 2nd. So these are two lemma that we used in the Stirling formula. So first is this one and the second is this one. Here it may possible that some step are missing. You can I just explain you every each and every step to you, so you can include, or we can always skip out some basic step. So this is our two lemma that we have used in Stirling formula. So this is our enough for today.